She used my Amazon account to buy her brother a $3,000 MacBook because he needs it for school. When I said that was too much, she said, "Stop being cheap, it's just money." I didn't return the laptop, just had Amazon deliver her eviction notice the same day. Now she's blowing up my phone with 27 missed calls. I'm still in shock at my own actions, but holy hell, it felt good. Some background. I, 38M, own a 4-unit apartment building in a decent part of town. Bought it 5 years ago as an investment property. Live in 1 unit, rent out the other 3. One of those units was rented to Alicia, 30F, who became my girlfriend about a year after she moved in. Yeah, I know, dating a tenant, dumb move. But at the time, it seemed fine. We got along great, shared interests, and the chemistry was off the charts. We've been together for 18 months, and things were pretty solid. Or so I thought. Here's where I should mention that I handled the lease situation properly when we started dating. I had her sign a proper fixed-term lease, not month-to-month, and despite our relationship, I maintained all the formal landlord-tenant paperwork. My attorney buddy insisted on this to protect both of us legally. The lease is up for renewal in 2 weeks, which becomes important later. Fast forward to 3 days ago. I was checking my email when I noticed an Amazon purchase confirmation. I have Prime and occasionally let Alicia use my account for necessities with my permission. I opened it and saw a $2,999 charge for a MacBook Pro 16-inch with all the upgrades. I definitely didn't buy this. I call Alicia immediately. "Hey, did you order something big on Amazon using my account?" "Oh yeah, it's a laptop for Ethan. It's coming tomorrow." Ethan is her 19-year-old brother who just started community college. "You spent $3,000 on a laptop for your brother? Without asking me?" "He needs it for his graphic design program," she said, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "The professor recommended Mac." "Alicia, that's a massive purchase to make without even discussing it with me." "Well, you're always saying we should help my family when they need it. Ethan needs this for school." I meant like helping him move or giving him career advice, not buying him top-of-the-line equipment. "Stop being cheap," she snapped. "It's just money. You can afford it." That phrase, "it's just money," hit me like a truck. I'm comfortable financially because I've worked my ass off and been careful with money my entire adult life. I grew up with parents who struggled paycheck to paycheck. Nothing about money is just anything to me. "We'll talk about this when I get home," I said and hung up. I spent the rest of the day seething. This wasn't just about the money. It was the entitlement, the assumption, the complete disregard for boundaries. Then I remembered something. About 6 months ago, I had added Alicia as an authorized user on one of my credit cards for emergencies. The Amazon account was linked to that card. Technically, she hadn't committed fraud since she was authorized to use the card, but this was a massive violation of trust. When I got home, Alicia acted like nothing was wrong. When I brought up the laptop again, she rolled her eyes. "Seriously? You're still upset about that? I told you, Ethan needs it for school." "He needs a $3,000 MacBook Pro? A $700 laptop wouldn't work? His professor specifically recommended Mac for the design programs." "There are MacBooks for $1,000, I countered. "But those wouldn't have enough power for the advanced projects he'll be doing." "Look, I don't see what the big deal is. It's an investment in his education." "The big deal is you spent my money without asking, a significant amount of money." "Our money," she corrected. "We're partners, right? What's yours is mine." "We weren't married. We had no joint finances. There was no our money. Just the audacity." "That's not how this works," I said. "We're not married. We don't have joint accounts. You can't just decide to spend thousands of dollars of my money." "Wow," she said, crossing her arms. "I didn't realize you were keeping score. Is that how you see our relationship? All separate and transactional?" And that's when it clicked. The manipulation, the guilt tripping, the entitlement. This wasn't new. It was just the most blatant example of a pattern. I didn't argue further, just went quiet and told her I needed some space to think. She seemed satisfied, probably assuming she'd won and I'd just get over it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about other incidents. Her borrowing money for her sister's birthday gift that never got repaid, her using my card for increasingly expensive salon visits, her comments about how I should upgrade my car since I had the money. By morning, I had made a decision. I contacted my attorney to prepare something, then logged into Amazon. The MacBook was scheduled for delivery that afternoon. Perfect. I didn't cancel the order. Instead, I added something else for delivery, a formal written notice of non-renewal of lease, printed on legal letterhead by my attorney. I arranged for both to be delivered at the same time. For those wondering about the legality, In my state, for a fixed-term lease, you can choose not to renew without providing a reason as long as you give proper notice, typically 30 days, though I was giving slightly more. Since we were nearing the end of the lease term, this was completely legal. I wasn't evicting her. I was simply not renewing her lease, a critical legal distinction. I also called my credit card company and removed her as an authorized user, effective immediately. Then I went to work and waited. At 2:47 p.m. my phone erupted. 7 texts in rapid succession. What the F is this? Is this a joke? Call me right now? You're kicking me out because of a laptop? You can't do this. Answer your freaking phone. I know you're seeing these. I didn't respond, put my phone on silent, and continued working. By 5 p.m. when I left the office, I had 27 missed calls and 43 text messages. I stopped at a hotel on the way home and checked in. No way was I dealing with this in person tonight. At 8:30 p.m. I finally texted back. The lease non-renewal is legal and stands. You have until the end of the lease term, July 15, to vacate the unit. The MacBook is my property as it was purchased with my credit card. You're welcome to give it to your brother. Consider it a parting gift. I've removed you as an authorized user on my credit card. Do not contact me except regarding move-out logistics. Her response was immediate. You can't do this to me. Where am I supposed to go? We're in a relationship. A relationship requires trust and respect. Spending $3,000 of my money without permission and dismissing my concerns showed neither. The lease non-renewal is final. Then the threats started. I'll tell everyone what an abusive asshole you are, throwing me out on the street over one mistake. I didn't bite. Just responded. All communication going forward should be in writing regarding move-out only. Any false accusations will be addressed legally. Then I turned off my phone and ordered room service. Update. 2 days later. I stayed at the hotel that night, then crashed at my buddy Mike's place the next night. Finally returned home yesterday evening. I chose to stay away primarily to avoid any heated confrontation that might be misrepresented later, and to give myself time to cool down completely. Alicia was waiting, clearly having watched for my car. She rushed out as I parked. We need to talk about this, she said, voice shaking. You can't just throw away our relationship. I kept my distance. I'm not discussing this. The decision is made. It was one mistake. People make mistakes. It wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate choice that showed me exactly how you view me and my resources. I'll pay you back for the laptop, she cried. I'll get a payment plan. Keep it, I said. Consider it the cost of learning who you really are. She followed me to my door, alternating between crying and angry outbursts. I closed the door in her face and locked it. This morning, I found a handwritten letter shoved under my door. 4 pages of apologies, explanations, and promises to change. She'd already returned the MacBook to Amazon for a refund, which went back to my card. Too little, too late. Her brother Ethan called me at work today. Never spoke to him much before. Dude, what the hell? Alicia's a mess because you're kicking her out over a laptop she was getting for me. She spent $3,000 of my money without asking, then told me I was being cheap for objecting. This isn't about you. But she doesn't have anywhere to go. Her credit isn't great, and rentals are expensive right now. She has 6 weeks to figure it out. Most people manage with less notice. That's cold, man. Real cold. What's cold is treating someone's hard-earned money like it's nothing. He hung up on me. Then Alicia's mother called. I didn't even know she had my number. How dare you do this to my daughter, after everything she's done for you? I had to laugh at that one. Ma'am, with all due respect, what exactly has Alicia done for me? She lives in my property, has spent my money freely, and when called out on it, dismissed my concerns completely. She's been your partner. She's supported you emotionally. She's been dating me while living in a unit I own at market rate. The two relationships, tenant and girlfriend, are separate legally and practically. You're breaking her heart over money. Is that all you care about? It's not about the money. It's about respect and boundaries. Your daughter showed she has respect for neither. I hung up as she was mid-sentence about family and forgiveness. For those concerned about the legality of all this, I've confirmed with my attorney that everything is being handled properly. The non-renewal notice was delivered with proper documentation and timeframe. There's no legal basis for her to contest it, especially since I'm not claiming any lease violations or attempting an early termination. I'm simply not offering a new lease when the current one expires. While there could potentially be claims about the non-renewal being related to our personal relationship, the unauthorized $3,000 purchase provides clear business justification for the decision. I've also installed additional security cameras covering my unit's entrance and my car. Just in case. Changed all my passwords too, since she knew several of them. The funny thing about all this, if she had simply apologized genuinely when I first confronted her, acknowledged the boundary violation, and offered to return the laptop, we probably could have worked through this. Instead, she doubled down, deflected, and dismissed my concerns entirely. That told me everything I needed to know about our future together. Final update. 3 weeks later, Alicia moved out yesterday, 5 days before the lease officially ended. No drama, surprisingly. Her parents rented a U-Haul and helped her. I stayed in my unit during the process, only emerging when her father knocked to return the keys. "She's too upset to face you," he said stiffly. "I understand," I replied, taking the keys. "I wish her the best." He looked like he wanted to say more but just nodded curtly and left. I processed her security deposit according to state law, documenting the condition with photos and returning the full amount to her within the required 14-day period since there were no damages to deduct. I inspected the unit immediately after. It was surprisingly clean, with no damage. She even patched the nail holes from her artwork. Smart move on her part. I would have deducted damages from her security deposit without hesitation. The 3 weeks leading up to the move-out were quieter than expected. After the initial explosion, Alicia switched tactics. She left heartfelt notes, sent emails about how much she'd changed in just these few weeks, even had flowers delivered to my door. I didn't engage beyond acknowledging receipt of move-out related communications. No arguments, no discussions, no second chances. One interesting development. I discovered through a mutual friend that Alicia had apparently been telling people for months that I had promised to give her the apartment unit as a gift eventually. That I supposedly said once we got married, I'd transfer ownership to her so she'd have financial security. Absolutely never happened. Not even close. I've never even hinted at anything like that. Pure fantasy on her part, or more likely, a deliberate lie to set expectations with her family. Made me wonder what other fabrications she had been spinning. The MacBook saga had an interesting conclusion too. After Alicia returned it to Amazon, using my account login, which she still had access to for the return process, I got the refund and decided to use a small portion of it to buy Ethan a reasonable laptop. A $700 Acer that would handle his graphic design coursework just fine. Had it delivered with a note explaining that I supported his education, but that his sister's approach had been inappropriate. He texted me a surprised thank you, then added, "Alicia told me you promised to pay for my entire degree. That wasn't true, was it?" Another lie. I never promised any such thing. "No, it wasn't," I replied. "Good luck with your studies." Financially, this has been educational. I've been reviewing my accounts and discovered several questionable purchases over the past few months. Nothing individually as extreme as the MacBook, but collectively concerning. Designer clothes, expensive dinners when she was supposedly eating with friends, even a weekend spa trip she told me was work-related. The apartment is already rented to a new tenant starting next month, a retired professor with impeccable credit and references. Higher rent too, given the market increases since Alicia's original lease. As for lessons learned, I won't be dating tenants again, that's for sure. And I'll be much clearer about financial boundaries from day one in future relationships. Some friends have called me harsh for the nuclear option of non-renewal over one incident. But it wasn't one incident. It was the culmination of a pattern, and her reaction, the entitlement, the dismissal, the manipulative tactics afterward, only confirmed I'd made the right call. Sometimes the cleanest breaks are the best ones, even if they seem severe in the moment. $3,000 is a small price to pay to discover someone's true character before further entangling your life with theirs. And having your own rental property? Turns out that's pretty useful leverage when you need to make a clean break.